In a moment that has reverberated through the halls of celebrity gossip and royal commentary, Dame Helen Mirren delivered what many are calling a scathing roast of Meghan Markle during her appearance on the Norton show. Known for her no-nonsense demeanor and sharp wit, Mirren, who has portrayed both Queen Elizabeth I and II on screen, seemed to use her royal insight to critique Meghan's actions and decisions since stepping away from royal duties. This encounter, filled with subtle jabs and direct criticisms, paints a picture of Meghan as less than regal, perhaps even out of her depth, in the complex world of British royalty. From the outset of the episode, the air was thick with anticipation as Helen Mirren, a figure synonymous with British acting royalty, sat alongside other high-profile guests. The conversation turned to the Sussexes, a hot topic since their decision to step back from royal life. Mirren, with her characteristic poise, began by acknowledging Meghan's charm and grace, which initially endeared her to the public. However, she quickly pivoted to a more critical analysis, noting how Meghan seemed to misunderstand the essence of royal duty. She implied that Markle's approach was more about personal branding than serving the institution or the public, a perspective that has been echoed in various corners of British media. Mirren's critique was not just about Meghan's perceived lack of understanding of royal protocol, but also about her perceived ambition which, according to Mirren, seemed to overshadow the humility expected from royals. She pointed out instances where Meghan had appeared to use her royal status for personal gain rather than for public service, a sentiment that has been a point of contention among royal watchers and critics. Mirren's comments were sharp, highlighting Meghan's interviews and media appearances where the focus seemed to shift from charitable causes to personal narratives, which she suggested was a departure from the traditional royal ethos of never explain, never complain. This roast by Mirren was not just about what was said, but how it was said. Her tone was layered with a mix of humor and seriousness, a technique that allowed her to deliver what could be interpreted as harsh truths under the guise of light-hearted banter. The audience, both in the studio and at home, could sense the underlying critique of Meghan's approach to her royal role, which many have felt was more Hollywood than Windsor. Mirren's commentary seemed to resonate with those who feel Meghan's tenure in the royal family was marked by a series of missteps, from her handling of media relations to her influence on Prince Harry's decisions. Mirren also touched on the couple's move to North America, questioning the logic behind their quest for privacy while simultaneously embracing high-profile media deals. She humorously remarked on how one could not have it both ways, craving privacy while actively engaging in publicity. This dichotomy, according to Mirren, was a fundamental misunderstanding of what royal life entails, where privacy is a luxury seldom afforded, especially when one continues to leverage their royal title for commercial ventures. Her pointed remarks brought laughter, but also nods of agreement from those who see this as a critique of Meghan's strategic moves post-royalty. Furthermore, Mirren's roast included a critique of how Meghan and Harry's actions have potentially impacted the royal family's public image. She suggested that their very public exit and subsequent activities have put additional strain on an institution already navigating modern challenges. While not directly stating it, the implication was clear: Meghan's influence might have led to decisions that were not in the best interest of the monarchy's long-term stability or public perception. This viewpoint aligns with some royal commentators who argue that the Sussexes' departure was more disruptive than progressive. In the broader context, Mirren's comments on the Norton show reflect a segment of public and media opinion that has been critical of Meghan from the start. She has been accused of not fully embracing the less glamorous aspects of royal duty, focusing instead on areas that would enhance her personal brand or narrative. Mirren's roast, thus, was not just an isolated incident but part of a larger narrative where Meghan is often portrayed as the antagonist in the royal saga, someone whose actions are seen as self-serving rather than service-oriented. While Mirren's roast was delivered with the suave sophistication for which she is known, it left a mark, stirring debates about Meghan's true intentions and her fit within the royal framework. Her words, coming from someone who has lived and breathed royal history through her roles, add weight to the ongoing discourse about Meghan Markle's legacy within the royal family. Whether one agrees with Mirren's assessment or not, her comments have undoubtedly fueled the fire of controversy surrounding Meghan, making this episode of the Norton show much more than just entertainment. It's a moment that encapsulates the complex, often contentious, relationship between modern celebrities and ancient institutions.